All right, today we're going to be learning about volume and surface area of spheres. Spheres, remember, is a ball shape, like a soccer ball, a basketball, volleyball, baseball, softball. All of those are different types of spheres that we can see in our everyday life. So remember from earlier when we were working with the cones and the pyramids yesterday and the day before, the 4/3 or 1/3 in those cases was just meaning divide by 3. So when I'm talking about 4/3 here in the volume, 4/3 times pi times your radius cubed, it's the same thing as saying 4 times pi times your radius cubed and then divide by 3 at the end. Just like if you were multiplying by 1/3, it means divide by 3. So instead of 1/3, it's 4/3. So 4 stays in the numerator, 3 goes in the denominator. Remember also, you have to cube or do exponents first. The order of operations says parentheses exponents, then multiplication, then division. The same thing is true when we are looking at the surface area, 4 times pi times your radius squared. So when we are looking here at letter A, we have a sphere with a radius of 13. So it says find both the surface area and the volume. On your homework today, the exact same thing. So when we have volume, we're going to take 4. We're going to use our pi button on our calculator, not 3.14. And then we're going to multiply it by our radius, which in this case is 13. And we're going to cube that and then divide by 3. So as I work over, I am going to... So we have 13 cubed is 4 times pi, and then times 2,197, and then we're going to divide that by 3. So if we take times 4 times, again, I'm using my pi button, equals approximately 27,608.316, and so on. I'm going to leave that in my calculator, and then I'm just going to press divide by 3. So I end up getting my volume to be 9,202.77, and we're going to do millimeters cubed. Anytime you're working with volume, you're saying how much can fit inside of this. And it's a 3D object, so it has 3 dimensions, so that is why our answer is always cubed. Now I'm going to shrink this just so I have more space. So I'm just going to put it over here. Well, maybe I will. Maybe I will. Shrink. Last try. Okay, yeah. We're not going to do that. We're just going to go straight to the surface area. All right. Sorry, guys. Trying here. So surface area is 4 times your pi times your radius squared. So 13 squared. So I know that 13 squared is going to be 169. So then I'm just going to punch in my calculator. 4 times pi times 169. And I end up getting 2,123.72. I want you rounding to the second decimal place. And since we are talking about surface area, we are going to leave the label as millimeters squared, because surface area is how much is on the outside, kind of like perimeter. Alrighty, so now we're going to go on to the second example here. So for volume, if we have 4 times pi times our radius squared. Now remember, this is the entire distance across, which means that this is the diameter. And I don't have a formula that gives me diameter. I have to find the radius. So in order to do that, I have to divide by 2. So 18 divided by 2 gives me 9. So my radius is actually 9. I'm going to cube that and divide by 3. So when I enter it in my calculator, 9 to the third, or 9 times 9 times 9, is 729. And then, remember that I'm multiplying by 4/3. So that means I take 4 times pi times 729, 9,160.884, and so on. I divide by 3. And when I divide by 3 at the end, I am left with 3,053.6, and that 8 causes my 3 to round up, and I am doing yards cubed. Again, I am talking about volume, so my answer is cubed. Lastly, we're going to work with, we're going to work with our surface area. So we're still using our radius, it's just this time our radius is 9 and we're squaring it instead of cube. So 9 times 9, or 9 squared, is 81. So we have 4 times pi times 81. And then we do 4 times pi times 81 equals, and we're going to round it to the nearest hundredth or second decimal place, gives us 1,117.88, because that 6 causes that 7 to round up, and it will be squared. Again, surface area is squared because we're only talking about the outside. How much if we were to paint the outside? All right, so there is a practice, there are some practice problems on Canvas. There are 6 of them. You do have to find the surface area and volume for the first 4. And then number 5, you just have to find the missing part, which in this case was the radius. And then for number 6, you find the volume using that radius from number 5. I will post the answers and work to that. That way you are able to see that. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I will try to get on to Google Meet tomorrow again. I'll try to do it between 2 and 3. Hopefully most of you will be up at that point. And if you do have questions about anything, including this topic, you'll be able to tune in. I'll post the Google Meet code so that you can enter the convo. And you can either chat or you can actually type your questions into the chat as well. So you can do your voice. Make sure that you approve your camera and your microphone. That way I can hear you and you can hear me. Have a good one, and